Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me at CGB, and today in the arena we are looking at Lazav Brawl, DIMIR Brawl, one of my absolute favorite brawls. I love it because Lazav is a two-mander. It's a two-mander as opposed to a Terramander. It's a two-mander. It's a two-mana commander. That means you have plays early in the game at the time when you're most likely to miss a beat because you want powerful cards in your deck. So you don't want too many cards that are cheap, but at the same time, you need those early plays. And Lazav's Surveil lets you smooth out your draw really well. What I surrounded Lazav with, I thought a lot about going down on a tangent, kind of making it all about Surveil. I thought a lot about making it all about Reanimator. In the end, neither of those things happened, and the deck instead is mostly a DIMIR good stuff, just trying to go over the top and have really powerful effects and counterplay to the opponent. It plays out like DIMIR control, and I absolutely love it. It's my favorite Brawl deck so far, I think. Before I talk too much about the cards, I'm going to do a quick shill, because I don't spend a lot of time shilling in my videos right now, so I'm just going to throw this in there. Please check out CoolStuffInc.com. They are a sponsor of the channel in a big way. They make it possible for me to be a full-time Magic content creator. I could not afford to do it without them yet with where I am. So if you enjoy the content on the daily basis, please go to CoolStuffInc.com. There is a link in the description. There's the promo code CGB5 for 5% off an order if you'll give them a try. Give them a chance to earn your business, get a little discount, and support the channel. Just clicking the link to look around helps the channel. So please check out the link to Cool Stuff Inc. in the description. Consider checking out the other sponsors as well. Esports Gold, HauntedFlower.com, also very nice. But yeah, just definitely want to get that in there. Now, going through this deck, I got away from... So there's been a debate. I think I've talked about it on this channel before. I've definitely talked about it on stream multiple times. There seems to be a debate with people who play a lot of Commander about how much synergy to bake into your Brawl deck. And for me, this might be a Brawl versus Commander type thing. In Commander, you have the entire collection of Magic to choose from. There are no rotated sets. There's a ban list, but nothing's out of print. So finding 59 cards that synergize best with your commander is very doable from all of Magic's history. You know, the tens and thousands of cards that have been released, no problem. Brawl is limited to standard. There is historic Brawl, which we don't even get a play queue for, so maybe I'll play it someday if they ever make one of those queues. But anyway, it's a much smaller card pool. And what I found is that when I compromise to focus on synergy, such as I play a Blood for Bones Reanimator deck with Lazav as my commander, something like that, or if I play a card like Thoughtbound Phantasm with Lazav as my commander, I end up playing low-power cards like Blood for Bones and Thoughtbound Phantasm in my deck, which are terrible top decks in the late game when my opponents are doing very powerful things. While in the meantime, like I'm really just trying to synergize with playing this one card over and over, which the opponent can easily kill until it's not realistic to recast. On the other hand, what I have found very successful in Brawl, and I've got to have a pretty good win rate. I don't keep track of that sort of thing, but I feel successful in Brawl, which is better than I can often say about Standard. I feel successful in Brawl, and my focus has been on power and versatility, cards that are just generally good, and a few cards that work well with the commander. Would I run the disinformation campaign in this deck without Lazav as my commander? Probably not. On its own, it's not very good. But because Lazav is there, this is like pretty OP. But other than that, you'll see that not much is really working with Lazav here. Obviously, it's nice to have a Thief of Sanity, right? But most of the time, I'm not too worried about turning my Lazav into something. The main targets are Thief of Sanity, by the way, if you're going to transform Lazav, Doom Whisperer, and Lochmere Serpent. Those are the three I usually end up turning Lazav into because you can make the Lochmere unblockable, the Doom Whisperer as flample, and because Thief of Sanity is Thief of Sanity. But most of the time, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about the synergy with the commander. I'm playing blue-black good cards, and I'm trying to dissect my opponent's strategy and get card advantage and do powerful over-the-top things in the late game, such as command the Dreadhorde, use Planeswalkers like Liliana or Ugin, Agent of Treachery, our opponent's best things, using Connive Concoct to get back our best things, that kind of stuff. One card I want to fit in the deck is Mass Manipulation. Maybe you will find the right cut. It was my 60th card. I could not find the cut. Maybe you will find the cut. If you can find the cut for Mass Manipulation, by all means, put in chat what it is. In the meantime, though, this is a collection of strong individual cards, lots of cheap ones, so that we don't get tempoed out early and let our late game take over. And I absolutely love this deck, so I'm looking forward to some great games, and I wish I could play it all freaking week long. Right now, Brawl is just Wednesdays only. I'll even show you. Feel the joy of Wednesday only Brawl. Now, they banned Oko today. One of my favorite things in chat today from Twitch was they should have unbanned the other 6 days where we could brawl. But as it is now, let's go enjoy Wednesday. Play Brawl when you can. Let Wizards know it's a format we enjoy. Thank you for watching the video, and let's go into the games. And let's dive right in and let the Brawl DIMIR nonsense begin. It's a slow hand, but it has a lot of tools. Still, only 2 lands, and they're slow. If I draw another land, it's a great hand. But I think the disciplined mulligan there, you can just fall way too far behind with a hand like that, going tap land, miss land drop, play a surveil card. Just, not gonna work out. Okay. Yeah, just play your cards. It's okay. No big deal. All right, our opponent gets to open on Once Upon a Time. Hello. How nice. And they pick up a Piper of the Swarm, so at least they've got some cards in their deck that you don't see every day. God bless it. I wonder if I'm supposed to hold up Negate, but you really shouldn't when a Piper of the Swarm is just about to occur. Let's drop our command tower and play Lazav and work on hitting lands. The only thing that matters, hit your land. Hit your first 5 lands, hit your first 7 lands. Do whatever you gotta do in Brawl to hit land. Piper is here. I think I just thought erase. If the opponent wants to spend some mana in a turn making a rat, that's pretty tempo negative. And we just want to hit land. Okay, there's a Wicked Wolf, very tempo strong play. There's a Rankle, also very strong. I think the Wicked Wolf is the worst one, because if there's food, the indestructibility is a big problem. This Rankle I can shoot down with a Murderous Rider, or block with a Doom Whisperer. Plaguecrafter might get annoying, but Lazav is pretty good against it. We take the Wolf. And yep, you're not a land, so we gotta bin ya. Would be nice if they were creatures, then at least I could threaten to Lazav them, but as it is right now, I've thrown 2 extra Scries basically into the graveyard, and I still might miss land drop 4. It's scary. Very scary. Wonder if the opponent goes for a spinning wheel. I would ramp. Ramp is what matters. Ramp is life in Brawl. No, the opponent goes for the Plaguecrafter. I'm actually pretty darn happy about that. 2 command with you. I could put you in the graveyard because of Cavalier Knight, but I'm not sure if or when this card is going to matter in this matchup. And yes, thank God we drew it. Now we get to play you again, and guess what we get to do? Try to surveil for a land. Midnight Clock is too slow. Need actual land, because our opponent's going to have Rankle. And I can take a hit from Rankle. It doesn't bother me. I can take a hit from Rankle, then I have to kill it. Sure. So I'm guessing the opponent... I mean, do you want to sacrifice a Piper of the Swarm here to get my commander off the field again? Maybe you do. I don't know. Command. Now you cost 6, meaning you're kind of dead. We don't have enough islands for this to matter, but oh well. And we'll say go. Let the opponent commit to their play before we murder something. Swiftly end, please. We don't have enough black for the Cavalier of Night yet. but you might just see a Doom Whisperer get busy. Ooh, this plus a negate could be nice. But if the opponent plays something huge, how do I deal with it? Another black mana could get me the Cavalier, but it's probably better to have Doom Whisperer. Like, if this is just on the battlefield, I have to have a black source to kill it. I could play you and have negate open, but again, if I don't draw black, it doesn't work. This is tough. This is very tough. I think I'll go Doom. At least Doom can help me stack my deck and figure out how to deal with Korvold. Because if we just play Thief and hold up negate, the opponent Korvolds. If they Korvold, Thief isn't getting through anyway. Let's see, other lines would be like Murderous Rider, hold up negate. That's even worse. Same problem, but worse. So here we go. Does the opponent sacrifice a mana source? They have to. And again, you never want to like if you remember my Brawl videos from the pre-con decks, you never want to give up your land to Korvold. Land is so important in this format. Even if your hand is all land, falling behind a land can be so huge. Now let's try to stack our deck well. Oh, the campaign. Well, right now the Doom Whisperer is too big for Korvold to attack. So it's kind of safe, and I have negate for a little bit of protection. And I really do want to hit my land, but I want another black land. So I'm going to bin this island and draw this campaign. Then I'm going to surveil again and start digging for a swamp. I can play this first and then dig for the swamp. All right. Seems good. Oh. I meant to do that with the trigger on the stack. You have to full control if you want to do that. Rough. Okay, you can stay in the graveyard. I guess I can't be too picky. But that bounces this, and now we pass. But yeah, I should have had this in play this turn if I was playing sharp. I failed. If the opponent attacks with the Korvold and sacrifices something to be a 6/6, I'll take the trade. I'm glad Ravenous Chupacabra isn't in the format. I hope they don't have something similar, like their own Cavalier of Night or something. That gets around negate, and they have Mayhem Devil. Gross. And here is Act of Treason. No. 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 No steal and sacrifice. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I protest. Okay, the opponent's going in for the trade. Let's see what they give up. Probably a land. No. The Devil so they can replay Korvold, possibly. But man, if they're giving up their Devil here for this trade, I don't have to take it. I could just take the hit. Because I can make the opponent discard the card with Disinformation Campaign. Nah, we make the trade. We make the trade. Sucks, but yeah. Before this thing gets too much bigger and I can't find... Like, I need time for the Cavalier of Night. I need 2 turns. This buys me that time. So, what do we do this turn? We hit him with the campaign. It's too bad I can't get another creature onto the battlefield. I mean, I could if I'm not willing to... If I'm willing to not play the campaign, I can get another creature on the battlefield, but... Here, I think this is the play. We might draw an untapped land. That would be very nice. So we got their Chandra. Now we can play Thief of Sanity. This is 7. So this comes back out, faces off against Thief. Cavalier of Night can't kill it because we need another black source. We could try to draw the black source off the top. But even then, it doesn't really do the job. But if I play this now, it doesn't do it next turn either. We may as well get the Thief down. The opponent might be too afraid to attack with the Korvold because of this card. They might also, they already discarded Claim the Firstborn, but they might also find another steal effect, which would be very frustrating. This is in the graveyard. I can exile a chunk of their graveyard to get it back in my hand. Just trying to think of what good that does for me. I'm sure they have something to do with the graveyard in the deck somewhere. Somewhere. Here it comes again. All right, untap black source, Fibblethib. Let's try that again. Untap black source for the highest possible reward play. Yes. Yes, indeed. Sacrifice this creature. remove this creature. Thief of Sanity hits. What we get? Get him. Duress. Goodbye, Tome of Legends. The opponent can't touch these. They're not in the hand. It's kind of funny. This is a graveyard. This is the Adventure Zone. This is Exile from Sanity. And this is Command Zone. They need little labels. Guild Globe. Okay. Opponent has some mana concerns, and they're trying to solve them with Guild Globe. I can respect it. Trail of Crumbs. That is a very strong enchantment if our opponent can make enough food, because whenever they sacrifice a food, they get to look at their top 2 cards and put a permanent into their hand. None of this interacts really with the graveyard. Is this a Garrick turn? And get back my Lockmere Serpent? I like that a lot. Let's see what we hit with the Thief of Sanity first. Spinning Wheel is 5 mana, I believe, to tap something. Yes. It's very expensive. I got your Oven. But I'd rather have your Invasion. I'll take the Oven. It can possibly ultimate this Garrick. Alright, let's exile some fun toys. I'm sure our opponent has some way to get creatures back. What are the good ones? Let's take out your Mayhem Devil. They might have a Command the Dreadhorde, but I have a Command the Dreadhorde, so I'm going to keep their Chandra where it's at. Here's Big Daddy G. And here's some wolves. Some wolfy wolf types. And the opponent says, good game. They can't bear to take this beating from their own Garrick. And I understand. I really do. Mono green. I need a hand with some good removal. Which I weirdly don't play that much of. We are on the play. The good thing about this hand is there's plenty of land and there's a Cavalier of Night. Plus there's Tome of Legends to go with the Lazav. I might just be beaten down too quickly, but I'm going to try it. I have a hard time resisting this hand. Here's my command tower, showing that I am in fact a god. And let's see if the opponent can open up with a 1-drop. No. We draw a Signet. That's pretty solid. I definitely want to play Tome into Lazav next turn and then have Cavalier Knight for the following turn, so everything is lining up really good here. Our opponent has Once Upon a Time, I'm guessing? I think this means they have Once Upon a Time. And that they don't have many 1-drops that they wanted to get with their Once Upon a Time, so this might be a mid-range or a go really big green deck. Because if it were my Once Upon a Time, I would be casting out on turn 1 looking for Gilded Goose or Pelt Collector to give myself the best possible start. And Keeper of Fables. This is from the Brawl deck. When a non-human creature deals damage to a player, draw a card. Archive Troll is a 2-mana 3/3. The stats are starting to arrive. This can gain control of something with power 2 or less. That's a problem. So the first thing we do is we play the Tome. The second thing we do is we play the Lazav. That puts an extra counter on our Tome of Legends. And now we can use that to draw some cards. So normally I need all the land drops I can get. I am getting a little bit of concern for flooding, but I'm still going to keep this because we're on 4, this is 5, this is 6. We want the Serpent on time. So I'm going to be conservative and even keep yet another land. Right now we have enough black sources to play Cavalier, sacrifice Lazav, and kill the opponent's commander. So that is definitely where we want to be with a 4/5 lifelinker. And there is Yorvo. So let's put out the castle, get it online, play the Cavalier Knight, sacrifice this, and we put it in the graveyard. Because now when the Cavalier of Night dies, we can get it back without paying anything extra. And this says when it enters the battlefield, right? Yeah, so it would get another counter on the Tome. Plus we're going to have Lockmere next turn, which is probably as big as anything the green deck can play. Oh, they turned me into an elk! Punished, but we can always concoct. if we need to. Full Harpooner. Now, do I have a way to return this to my hand? I can't think of one. I can always get it back from the graveyard with Concoct, which can do the job of getting the Lazav back eventually too. And there's Enter the God Eternals off the top. What a draw. But we can save that for the commander. I think we want the 7/7 on the battlefield. It's the most expensive option. It usually makes it a good one. And Keeper of the Fables, it prices our opponent into attacking, so it makes this ambush glorious. And I have a creature bigger than the green creatures. Feels good, man. Price of Fame off the top. The bad news, if you can call it that, is that right now the Enter the God Eternals doesn't kill the Keeper, so we're kind of price of faming it. Does take out the Yorvo. Let's send the Lockmire and see if the opponent wishes to block. No? Okay. So during my main phase, I'm trying to think if I want to do this next turn, try to draw a card and hit my land drop, but I can also price of fame now if I know I'm going to do it and surveil a land to the top of the deck. And there's a land and a Thought Erasure. Do I want the Thought Erasure? Kind of a weird question, but it's something you have to consider. And now we can use Tome, draw into our land, hit our land drop, pass the turn. Our opponent still has plenty of cards, so taking something with the Thought Erasure feels fine. Let's see what they can do to stack up against the Serpent. Remember, Serpent can go unblockable. You can also draw cards, but you don't usually want to sacrifice your lands unless you are so severely into the late game you can't possibly think you're missing them. And here is a Hydra for 5. Our opponent can double the size if they wish. And looks like that is the play. Okay. 10-7. Let's attack with the Serpent. If they block it, we can enter the God Eternals on ourselves. Put this in the graveyard and kill the Hydra and then get the Lockmire back. The other ideas that we have, we can concoct up the Cavalier Knight and sacrifice the Lockmire and get it back that way. Is that better than? No, I think we want to save the concoct. We could also Thought Erase. Maybe that would tell me what I want to do. Either way, we could have the mana to make our next play. We just don't have a board presence. Let's see what happens. Endrace, Forerunners, and Vivian. The Forerunners is so much damage, but the Vivian is so good. And the opponent has enough mana for the Forerunners because of the Castle Garenbrig. This is really tough. I think I can kill Vivian eventually anyway. I'll take away... Oh, it must be my birthday. It must be my birthday to get that rewarded. All right, Serpent, get in there. Let's see how the opponent wants to play it. And there is the block. So Serpent, some damage. Critical 4. We'll shoot here, and now we shoot the opponent with the Enter the God Eternals because we want to draw that Elder Spell. And the Hydra is down. So we get their Return of the Wildspeaker, which is another huge payoff for big mana creatures. Nice to see that in the graveyard. Let's see. Our opponent can make enough mana for the Yorvo, but they can't Yorvo and Vivian. Let's see what they do. Probably play Yorvo. Or whatever they drew. But you really want a creature out there first to use with Vivian. You don't want Vivian on an empty board. And here comes the Commander. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. So if we get back the Lockmire Serpent, we don't have enough mana to cast it. We can connive. I'm trying to hold that off for a really good target. Our opponent is actually behind us in the race, so let's send in the 4/4. It won't be able to block the Yorvo next turn because Vivian will pump it. So there's no reason to hold on defense. I am really surprised at this block by the opponent. They're trying to play a value game with me. Let's try drawing a card with the Tome. See if we hit a land drop here. Ooh. It's a very strong card, too. I sort of feel like I just get back my Lochmere Serpent. And hold the Dream Eater. Well, I'm going to get this back eventually anyway. Whatever they play this turn, Dream Eating it is another big tempo swing, and I have a flying attacker. So yeah, we'll end the turn. We will end the turn. Opponent is now on 7 for Yorvo, which they have through Castle Garenbrig with a little bit of change. They're now on 3 cards in their hand. They've been using their Yorvo as kind of a value Yorvo to try to get cards to get back in the game. Interesting to see how it pays off here. They just don't want to slam Vivian without something to pump. You really want something to put those counters on, and here's a shifting Ceratops. Protection from blue. I didn't plan for that. That is not good. So what we're probably doing now is playing our Dream Eater, but not bouncing anything, and sacrificing it with Concoct to our Cavalier of Night to kill this. That's a pretty strong play. Another option is to just try to scry our way to an answer for the Ceratops, but I guess we just need to scry our way to any 2-drop, but we don't run that many. I think we get this on the board. I think Dream Eater comes down. We can't target the Ceratops, sadly, but okay. Okie dokie. Do I want some of this land? I usually do. I definitely don't need an Evolving Wilds at this stage. But yeah, lands with the Serpent are really good. Do I plan to play Liliana here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can just... Ceratops has protection from blue, though. I think the idea is still to bring back the Cavalier of Night this turn. If I'm doing that, I don't need to draw the Liliana. So I may as well draw the Swamp. We'll do this. Attack first. Get that damage. Alright, Concoct. Making sure I have the right mana open for my Serpent. Auto Tapper goes pretty crazy when you have castles. Dispersal's probably very good. The land is probably very good. What are we on, 8? Well, every land is like a draw or an unblockable now, so I think this is fine. Alright, sacrifice my Dream Eater. Sorry, buddy. Kill the Ceratops. Don't want the opponent to have something to put Vivian counters on. Activate the Lochmere Serpent. I don't think my opponent can bring anything back from the graveyard, but I can because of Command the Dreadhorde. So I'm targeting things that are not creatures. We also leave a mana open. This is in case our Cavalier dies, we get our Lazav back, and Lazav triggers Tome so we can draw a card. Value, value, value. We're fighting. Okay. Are you going to also play Vivian? Huh. Our opponent left the Garenbrig open. I think that's an auto-tap fail. Because I think what they'd like to do is play the Vivian here and pump this, but I think it's going to work out for them because the Elder Spell is a card that I would love to play. If I wait until this Vivian's on the battlefield, by the way, I can Elder Spell and Ultimate Liliana immediately. That's really good. So yeah, let's send in the Cavalier of Night. Here it comes. Does the opponent want to give up a forest? Wow. Okay, they really love Nissa. I think this... Well, let's see. Is there a trick? What do you have? Nothing. All right, let's end the turn. Plan the Lockmere Serpent. Opponent scoops it up. I mean, I don't think they knew just how much we had them, but there you go. Oof. Domri. Gruul can be fast and furious, and 3-mana Planeswalkers are definitely a problem. But we have the Elder Spell, we have a Sabotage if we find a blue source, we have a Tyrant Scorn to kill something early. So this is one of those hands that feels like a lock. And yeah, straight to the command tower. Send a message with how great I am at drawing magic cards. Red-green. Paradise Druid. Nothing I can do about that one. Which means Domri comes down probably. Let's go ahead and get our Lazav on. Land? Yep. Just need lots of land. Land is perfect. Land is great. We're probably looking at a need for Massacre Girl pretty quickly. Now the question is, do I hold on to this Elder Spell? When the opponent plays Domri. Nope. The opponent goes straight to the War Boss. Let's see if they have the land. No land. That is RIP in Brawl. Alright. The real question here is, do I blow up their Paradise Druid, or do I blow up their War Boss? That War Boss could spiral, but with Massacre Girl, I'm not very afraid. Maybe I just sabotage whatever the opponent does this turn. Next turn I can kill the War Boss. Elder Spell the Planeswalker. Nah, that's not great, because they won't have anything worth doing that to. But they just missed a land drop, man. This is a tough call. Alright. I'm going to destroy the War Boss. The opponent will probably play the Domri. When they do, we can Elder Spell it. I'm going to hold this back in case the opponent feels a need to attack with a Paradise Druid. Oh man, I'm already thinking I should have gone for the land. But look, they top decked the land anyway. Makes me feel a little better. It's really tempting. I'm contemplating, like, do I want my opponent, do I want to let my opponent have a chance to play Nissa so I can Elder Spell the both of them? You have to remember, creatures can't be countered with Domri, so getting something to sabotage is hard. But I think what we're doing here is setting up the Massacre. If we're gonna set up the Massacre, let's make the opponent pay extra for this Domri, or at least shut it down. Maybe give ourselves a chance to sabotage something. Doom Whisper is really big, too. It's an option. It's a tough option for red-green to overcome. And here is the ambush. Command. Alright, right now the Massacre is not doing much, so this does seem like a Doom Whisperer has to come down. It's also great because it can just attack and kill Domri if the opponent goes for that. And there is a draw. Lockmere is also big. When did DIMIR play the biggest creatures in town? In this deck it does. It's time for the big oomph. So, all this pause, our opponent could be activating a troll, but we also have to be wary of, and maybe they'll have a Collision Colossus. God, that would be the best. That would be the best possible. But let's see what it is. Now is the time. Oh! Okay, deal 4 to it. Okay. And another 2. So I don't think I pay life here. I like what I have. Don't think it's necessary. And when the opponent does cast their Bone Crusher Giant, the Massacre Girl works. Agent of Treachery. Your turn. I ain't doing nothing over here. Ain't nothing going on. Ain't nothing to worry about. Just you? Good, try to ambush it. Our Serpent might die. We could try to, we can always get it back, but we could also just play it on end step. I think we go for it. I think we go for the block. I think the upside is there. Our opponent can Domri and have Paradise fight the Serpent, but again, Serpent can come back. I think the upside is here. Ugin. All right. That is annoying. Land off the top, please. Come on, land. Come on, land. Not this time. 4 cards in the graveyard. We can get to 5. But then we're just leaving the board against Ugin, though Massacre Girl can fix it. Maybe the play is just Massacre Girl. We take out the Paradise Druid? No. Because next turn, if the Bone Crusher comes down, we can Massacre Girl the Spirit, the Bone Crusher, and the Druid. It sucks to leave this Ugin uncontested, but if I can find an untapped land, I'm just gonna steal it. Once upon a time, out of there. Ooh, nope. Our opponent's empty-handed. There's not enough payoff now. And we pass, because getting back the Serpent takes down the Sabotage. It does give away that we have something, but I have a feeling the opponent's going to go for Domri, and that can't happen. If they go for the Bone Crusher Giant, we can just Massacre Girl and sweep them. But instead it is Domri. Here is the Sabotage. It's another look at that land on top of the deck that we need so much. That untapped land that we need. What? I mean, you can just have the Lockmere back. How close is the Ugin to killing it, though? Pretty close. I think I keep that. It's basically like drawing another bomb creature. This goes up to 3 next turn. Alright, so we stack the deck with a land with the Concoct, and we get back probably the Doom Whisperer? Probably not the Serpent? Although Serpent is so big. Let's get the Serpent. I know we can get it back in other ways, but let's get the biggest and the strongest. And there's the land we want. Oh man, these other cards I want too. This can go. It's a little bit slow, but I want this Price of Fame. Ooh. I don't want to have to sacrifice a land, though, to make this unblockable if I just want to kill the Ugin. Let's grab the Doom Whisperer. And pass the turn. That was one thing. I don't want to give up my lands to go unblockable if I decide I need to kill Ugin rather than steal it. In case our opponent, say, plays something else that can steal it. This right now can kind of kill Ugin for free. Here's Domri. Full 7 freaking mana for Domri. Alright. So we're stealing Ugin, killing Domri. Whoa. So the opponent wants to fight? They want a minus to fight 2 things on the Doom Whisperer? We're not doing that. But they are doing a good job pushing damage. We're down to 5. We have to be careful now. It's gonna get scary in here. I think this is the play. There's still something to be said for a Massacre Girl, but it takes out our Whisperer. Our opponent could rip the nuts. Like, I think that there are some haste creatures they could pull that would win this game. I couldn't minus here to kill the Domri. But I think this is better.
Truth lies beyond vision.
But let's see. It's all up to the opponent here. Can they get the right card? Can they make this happen? If they go after Ugin, that is a sign that this game is on lock. And they do. So, I definitely want to kill the Druid, I think. I don't think that I'm worried about the Massacre Girl working anymore. Do I want to trade one of these? I think it's better to keep my Ugin if I can. The question is, I don't have any clue to which one might be better. I really don't. The opponent hasn't been more, like, aggressive with one than the other, like they really wanted that card. So, here we go. Hold on to your butts.
Curious tactic.
A curious tactic, indeed. Lockmere Serpent is a source of life gain, but it is an expensive one. Sacrificing a swamp to gain 1 life. I do not love it. I do not love it. Ooh, full price Great Henge. I will be looking for a way to somehow recast my Agent of Treachery. Okay. That is a card. And a Pelt Collector to get the card draw moving right away. Alright, my turn. I don't dare Surveil, I don't think. That is life gain. That is life gain. Let's see what we see with the Ugin. There's a Brazen Borrower. That's a pretty sweet one. We can probably set up some way to make the opponent pick this up and discard it. But I don't see it right this second. Enter the God Eternals. How many cards in your graveyard? 6. How many cards in mine? A lot. Plenty of cards in the deck. I think we hit ourselves with the mill. You and you. Just to give ourselves more Lazav options. And we did hit a Dream Eater. Now we could hold up the Price of Fame. We could also have the Borrower open. What's its better? I think we get back the Serpent. I think size still matters. And we want the things that are not creatures first, or the worst creatures. Because we have Command the Dreadhorde in our deck. Smash, smash. Play defensive. This is going to take a while. I don't think being extra aggressive with another creature is really worth it here. If the opponent takes out my 4/4, I don't know that I want to trade these, whereas if I could get this for free with the Agent or have this not attack at all, I should be able to win a long game, even against the Great Henge. Although the Henge gives our opponent a chance. Without question, it is powerful. But that Lockmere, I want to get that Lockmere unblockable and in range. What do you do? I mean, you can recast Domri. It will cost you everything. But you can do it. And I will smash it with Doom Whisperer for what feels like the 4th time. I don't even know how many times I've smashed it. I know I had to Elder Spell it once. Glad I gained that life. Oh my god. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4 to deal 2. The opponent can leave us at 2. Do they have another 2 damage source? Let's find out. They're going for it. Remember, they can activate the Hellkite now. It does have a counter on it from the Great Henge, so they can have haste and the counter. They have the best of both worlds. They are Miley frickin' Cyrus. And they are setting up for potential lethal next turn, but they also tagged Ugin. Interesting choice. So the Ugin can't minus and kill the Hellkite. And then it's Lovestruck Beast making a 1/1. When it has 23 life. Land off the top. So we're definitely killing the Hellkite. Does our opponent have another way to sneak this damage through? Let's just say the world is full of options. Finale.
Secrets manifest before you.
We need to kill it before it untaps. So let's get it. Let's get the for sure's out of the way. Our own Ugin. Well, that means we can minus Ugin to kill the Great Henge, or if the opponent deals, we can play another one. How about this passage? When and how do we draw an extra card with this passage? So that we're not just wasting our turn. I don't think we keep the passage. Oh man, but I love my land drops, you know I do. But I am low on removal. The opponent says, good game. What do they got? They think they've got me figured out? I don't know. I'm going to keep this for now. All right. So for 4 mana, we can play this again. I don't think there's a good reason not to. Well, I guess if this dies, we have Brazen Borrower, which is sweet. That's probably good enough. 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 1, 2 is okay. Let's get him for 6. Keep it super conservative. I don't think the opponent's going to mount an offensive here. If they do, it's probably me dying. So better to have this on the board, where it threatens to be something next turn like a Thief of Sanity. Does the opponent top deck Shock? Like some cheeseball way. I guess I'm at 3, because they didn't target me for 2. They target Ugin for 1. They would need to draw 3 points of burn. And here goes the Henge. The Henge is trying to dig up something to save the opponent's bacon. Bone Crusher is on the scene. B5 faux fum. Remember, targeting that with a spell hurts. Note to self. Note to self. And Zerta. The board is filling up again. I don't know, this may call for a massacre. There's just so many threats on the board. And the board could be empty, so I think for sure I want to take the Henge out. And I have Serpent to flash in, and it can sack something to gain a life. I think that's better than anything else I can really do. And then, yeah, get the Serpent down. Hope the opponent can't power through this. I don't think they can. They would need a removal spell. This is way too expensive. They would need at least 2 removal spells. I could also massacre this board. Give the opponent a mystery card, give me these 2 cards. I think it's worth it to wait. I think the Serpent's the play. Do I attack for 6 here? It sets up lethal next turn. The opponent will have to kill me. Alright, let's make it happen. All comes down to this. It's been a crazy game. Does that attack throw it? So what I should have done, I wish I had this back. I could have put the passage on top and left the Ugin, just in case I need the extra land. Remember, this can gain a life. I can flash this in and sacrifice swamps to gain life. Could come up big. But if I had done it one more time, I'd take the land drop, and I'd leave the Ugin on the top of the deck. Opponent knows about the Serpent. They probably know they need to finish this game on the spot. Vivian. Vivian is very strong. It can hand trample. But it can't make anything too big for the Serpent except for the Beast. And we're fighting. We're fighting. Well, it's not a fight. It's just it deals damage. Remember, we can still turn this... We can turn Lazav into a Doom Whisperer here.
Get him.
Get him, indeed. And a Spellbreaker. Alright. But no haste. The opponent doesn't think they can get there this turn. Did they have lethal? If they plussed on 2 creatures to give trample and play this with haste, is that lethal? Here's the Serpent. All right, nothing has reach. I don't know what I necessarily need, so I can save that. Sacrifice an island. Can't be blocked. Five. Copy the Doom Whisperer. This could be lethal, and yes, indeed. What a game of Brawl. Holy cow, good game, my opponent. I hope you enjoyed this look at Lazav Brawl, one of my favorite Brawl decks to be sure. It was fun on stream, it's been very fun in the games here today, and Brawl is a really fun format. It's more tempo than you realize, because, I mean, ramp is key, missing land drops is lethal, so play to those outs, and I think you'll see more success in Brawl. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.